If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock. They talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You can beat the world, you can beat the war, you can talk the guy, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself
Standing in the Hall of Fame,
yeah.
and the world's gonna know your name. You can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you can get the gold, breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name, cause there's gonna be a day when you're
standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. Politicians be preachers, be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers, be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. The King Kong hanging on your chest.
You can be the hero, you can beat the war, you can talk your jacket banging on his door.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Reese Jones and
Sean Reynolds as we bring you at the Hall of Fame class of 2020 and 2021. Now, the reason why we didn't have the one from 2020 was because of one thing: COVID-19.
yes, as if you couldn't tell by the opening music, we are here to discuss the WWE Hall of Fame, as is tradition, on the final steps of WrestleMania.
Yes.
We should note that going through this, there has been one slight change to the Hall of Fame class of 2020,
Yes.
which was originally scheduled to be headlined by Batista.
But that's not the case anymore.
Yes, about a week and a half ago or so, his name was pulled from the Hall of Fame, and it has been said by Batista that it was pulled because he is unable to be there due to prior obligations, and asked WWE to induct them in a future Hall of Fame ceremony, which WWE looks like they're doing. Now, whether that is the actual reason or not is debatable.
Very true.
However, we will go through who we know as for now will go in the Hall of Fame. And we feel confident that we won't have had anyone added last minute, because due to the pandemic,
COVID-19.
the Hall of Fame ceremony was actually pre-recorded 2 days ago
Yes.
inside WWE's Thunderdome, which also means that this time we won't have some lunatic jump the barrier and try to tackle one of the inductees.
Yeah, calm down, my fellow colleague. Calm down. That won't happen again because of COVID-19.
Anyway, the Hall of Fame class of 2020 is as follows: John Bradshaw Layfield,
Yes.
who goes in as a former WWE champion, the longest reign of the mid 2000s on SmackDown, a former Intercontinental Champion, a former United States Champion, a 3-time Tag Team Champion, a former European Champion, and an 18-time Hardcore Champion. R-Truth has got you beat there.
Yeah. And he was also the long-time commentator and the founder of WWE's Tribute to the Troops series.
And also had the Michael Cole and Renee Young show on the interwebs.
Yes. And our next Hall of Fame inductee is a posthumous inductee, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Likely to be inducted by his son Davey Boy Smith. The likely inductee of JBL is probably Ron Simmons,
Yeah.
aka Farouk.
Damn.
The British Bulldog, former Intercontinental Champion, won the Intercontinental Championship at the only major WWE pay-per-view to take place in the United Kingdom,
Which was SummerSlam at the old Wembley.
in the main event, one of a few times of the Intercontinental Championship as main event of the pay-per-view. He
The
was
inaugural and former two-time WWF, as it was known back then, European champion.
former hardcore champion and a tag team champion as part of the British Bulldogs.
Of course, the iconic tag team.
Now, for the next inductee, we go to Japan.
We do. With Jushin Thunder Liger.
11th-time IWPG Junior Heavyweight Champion and a one-time WCW Light Heavyweight Champion. Now, you may be wondering why WWE is inducting someone into the Hall of Fame who has little to nothing to do with WWE at all. Strictly speaking, that's not true.
No.
He made an appearance for WWE in 1990 in a wrestling summit, which was co-produced by NJPW, aka All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And 6 years ago, almost, at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, he took on Tyler Breeze.
He did, in which Jushin Thunder Liger ended up picking up the win.
And after retiring and having the ultimate show of respect following Wrestle Kingdom 2019, it was announced on the 16th of March 2020, like before the world went to shit,
Yeah, sorry for our language.
that just Liger would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now,
Yes. Moving on to our next Hall of Fame inductee.
yes,
Died.
let's go. Yes, this is the celebrity inductee into the Hall of Fame, and let's go star trekking across the universe.
Yeah. So William Shatner is in the 2020 class of Hall of Fame.
AKA Captain Kirk from the original Star Trek series.
Made numerous appearances on WWE programming, including serving as a Raw guest host in 2010. Who remembers having guest hosts?
Back in the days before the nominator GM.
And a narrator for the WWE Network reality series Breaking Ground.
And was also the person to induct Jerry the King Lawler into the Hall of Fame in 2007.
And how likely that it is going to be Jerry the King Lawler inducting William Shatner into the Hall of Fame?
Wouldn't surprise me. As with probably someone who's been in Japan like Nakamura.
Yeah. So now we move on to the group section of the class of Hall of Fame for 2020.
And we start with the NWO. Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Sean Weltman. Now, strangely enough, these inductees will all be the second time that all four of these superstars have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Hulk Hogan was inducted for his individual career in 2005. Kevin Nash was inducted for his singles career in 2015. Scott Hall was inducted under the name Razor Ramon in 2014. We'll be speaking about him in momentarily with something else. And Sean Weltman was inducted in the 2019 class as part of the Generation X.
Yes.
Now, what do we do here? Probably the most successful group to come out of WCW. And one of the reasons that Nitro was able to beat Raw so many times in the Monday Night War ratings. And of course, Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash have each held the WCW Championship. Scott Hall held the WCW United States Championship, and Hall and Nash, as the outsiders, were WCW Tag Team Champions, whilst
Sean, yeah.
Shawn Weltman 6, aka X-Pac, WCW Cruiserweight Champion, and considered one of the Tag Team Champions under the good old Freebird rule.
Yes. And staying with the group side, we now move on to the women's group side as Brie and Nikki Bella go into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, you can look, but you can't touch. Nikki Bella, two-time Divas Champion and the longest Divas Championship reign. And then we have Brie Bella, also a Divas Champion, but possibly more important these days, the wife to current WWE superstar on the SmackDown side, and quite possibly the next Universal Champion, Daniel Bryan.
Obviously, in 2013, they both won the Divas of the Year Slammy Award, and they also gained fame after WWE in as mainstream celebrities after starring in the WWE-produced reality shows Total Divas and their own spin-off, which is still airing now, Total Bellas. Now, who's going to induct them, I wonder?
If it's possibly Daniel Bryan, or
Possibly. Or it could be someone from the women's division. We don't know. So that's the 2020 side.
and to go through the inductees for the 2020 class again,
Yep.
JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield,
The British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith,
Justin Thunder Liger,
William Shatner,
the NWO New World Order.
and the Bella Twins.
Now, normally we'd be done here. However, due to
COVID-19.
we now have the 2021 Hall of Fame inductees.
Yes.
Starting with Molly Holly.
A former two-time WWE Women's Champion and a one-time Hardcore Champion.
Yes. Also known as Mighty Molly, as a sidekick to the Hurricane, she actually won the Hardcore Championship at WrestleMania 18. But then, 2 years later, she would lose her hair at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Then we have Eric Bischoff.
Yes, you heard us right. Do not adjust your sentences when we said that. Eric Bischoff is going in the Hall of Fame.
The former Senior Vice President of WCW during the time that WCW was winning in the Monday Night Wars.
for 83 consecutive weeks.
A former, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, WCW Hardcore Champion in 2002 was made the first general manager of Raw and created the structure known as the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, and he also made Raw Roulette, where wrestlers spun a roulette to determine the stipulation of their match, and that was used 6 times over the course of 2002 to 2013.
Next, we have the devil's favorite demon,
Yes,
Omea,
and of Knox County.
Kane. Okay, take a breath here because this is a long list of stuff.
Yes,
Former WWE/F champion, former
a one-time
World Heavyweight
World
champion, former ECW champion under the rebranded title,
a two-time Intercontinental Champion,
one-time Hardcore champion, one-time 24/7 champion,
two-time Tag Team Champion,
9-time World Tag Team champion,
one-time WCW Tag Team Champion,
and the 2020 SmackDown Money in the Bank winner.
I don't mean 2010.
Yeah, 2010's Money in the Bank winner.
And he also won a Slammy Award in the same year for beating up Jack Swagger and Match of the Year in 2014. And who held the most eliminations in the Royal Rumble at 46.
And also has the most appearances in the Royal Rumble match at 20. And
Yes,
until a few years ago, also had the record for eliminating the most people in a Rumble match.
Yes.
Now, the next Hall of Fame inductee is a bit of an iffy one for me.
Yes, it is. As the Great Khali is going in the Hall of Fame. WTF.
What exactly has he done to deserve this? Yes,
He is a former one-time World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, he's a former world champion, but that was only because Edge got injured, and the guy can't exactly wrestle that well.
And when he won the World Championship, he became the first Indian World Champion in WWE.
That's probably got more to do with why he's going in than anything else. As WWE expanding operations in India, or at least attempting to.
But going from one Hall of Fame inductee that doesn't deserve it to one that does deserve it.
Yes. Rob Van Dam, who is a former WWE champion, ECW champion, the only person to have held both titles at the same time,
A 6-time Intercontinental Champion,
a 4-time Hardcore champion,
one-time European Champion, and the last Hardcore and European Champion at the time.
Yeah, when the titles were unified together, then a former tag team champion with
A
Rey
2-time World Tag Team Champion and one-time ECW World Television Title Champion.
And the 2-time ECW Tag Team Champion and the winner of the 2006 Money in the Bank ladder match.
At WrestleMania 22.
Correct.
So
So,
let's run you through the candidates one more time.
2021, we have Molly Holly,
Eric Bischoff,
Kane,
The Great Ali,
and Rob Van Dam.
the Hall of Fame in the Hall of Fame ceremonies of both classes, 21st and 22nd classes of Hall of Fame, will be airing on April 6th, 2021.
From Tropicana Field. One of the final shows to air from Tropicana Field.
For our Hall of Fame show.
And we'll then quickly run through both year's classes again. Just as a final reminder, the inductees for 2020 are JBL,
The British Bulldog,
Justin van der Liger,
the celebrity side, William Shatner,
and the NWO.
and the Bella Twins.
And then for 2021, we have Molly Holly,
Eric Bischoff,
Kane,
The Great Khali,
and Rob Van Dam. Oh, and one final thing before we forget. It has not been confirmed by WWE yet, but all reports are stating that the Warrior Award for this year will go to WWE superstar Titus O'Neil.
but we'll have to wait and see what WWE have confirmed for that. Confirmed for us.
So this is the first step on the road to WrestleMania. The next step will be coming at you right now.
Yes.
So join us, at least at the time of this recording, so join us momentarily.
Until then, he's been
This for Lark Jones, and he's been
John Randy Smith, and we will see you momentarily on the first stop on the takeover side.